Chapter 69, the quadratic formula. Solve 3x squared plus 5x minus 7 equals 0, and ax squared plus bx plus c, which is 0, by completing the square. Do it side by side. 3x squared plus 5x minus 7, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Get 7 to the other side, subtract c from both sides. Get 1 times x squared, divide by 3. Get 1 times x squared, divide by a. Complete the square. You need 1/2 of this here, and that quantity squared. So, you're going to add 5/6 squared to both sides. Right here, you need b over 2a quantity squared, which you add to both sides. Sorry, it didn't show up over here. So you wanted to get the same denominator, 36. You want to get the same denominator, 4a squared, multiply numerator and denominator by 4a. You have completed the square. You have a perfect square on the left. You have a perfect square on the left. You take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus or minus here. So the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. And the square root of 4a squared, you have negative b over a. You should get negative b plus or minus the square root over 2a. There is something missing over here, I think, because there is a 2 that is missing. Yes, because I should have a 2a in the denominator. Okay. The quadratic formula is very important. Memorize it. It is so important that if you reach age 90, and you forget everything else, you should still remember the quadratic formula when you reach age 90. And when you do, I will come by and check. Okay, there's a 2a over here, that's what was missing. There's a 2a over here, there's a 2a over here, so this is 2a, and then you have the common denominator 2a. This formula is right. Okay. So x is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We can develop a special formula of the coefficient of x, namely b is even, like 2b bar. Then we get 2b bar squared, 2b bar here. You get a 4 that you can factor out as a 2, right here. You can factor the 2 and divide by 2. So if the coefficient of x is 2b bar, x can be negative b bar plus or minus b bar squared minus ac over a. The expression b squared minus 4ac under the square root sign is called a discriminant. It can be used to determine the nature of the roots of the solutions of the quadratic equation. If the discriminant is greater than 0, we end up with 2 real roots, 2 real distinct roots. If d is equal to a perfect square, we get 2 rational roots. No square root need to be involved. If d is equal to 0, we get 1 root. We call it a double root because we expect 2 solutions. And if d is negative, the solutions are not real. We'll get into non-real solutions shortly.